Okay, midterm season is officially upon us. So, are you tired of those super long, kind of painful study sessions that just don't seem to pay off with the grades you want? Well, let's dive into how you can completely change up your study habits using some science backed techniques that are going to help you absolutely crush those exams.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You spend the entire night highlighting, rereading your notes, you feel totally on top of it, and then you sit down in that exam hall, you look at the first question, and nothing. Your mind just goes completely blank. It is so frustrating, but it happens for a very specific reason. And believe it or not, it's totally preventable.
So here's the deal, the big secret, really. There is a huge difference between just recognizing something and truly recalling it. When you just reread your notes, that's passive recognition. Yeah, the words look familiar, but that information isn't really locked in. Active recall, on the other hand, that's the hard work of actually pulling information out of your brain. Think of it like this. Instead of just reading a definition, try explaining it out loud to an empty room without looking at the book. That's active recall.
To really beat this illusion of knowing, we gotta understand a little bit about how our memory actually works. And it all starts with a kind of weird fact. Our brains are basically designed to forget things. This is called the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. And look at that graph. See how quickly that line drops off right after you learn something new? That's the enemy right there. It's exactly why cramming the night before a test feels so useless the next day. But the good news is, there's a really powerful way to fight back against this curve.
So, weapon number one in our arsenal is something called spaced repetition. Instead of one monster, soul-crushing study session, you break it up. You review the material in shorter, focused bursts over several days. Every time you review it, right as you're about to forget, you stop that curve in its tracks and you make that memory even stronger in your brain. And weapon number two is active recall, which we just talked about. This is the real engine of learning. I mean it. It's not about passively shoveling information in, it's all about actively pulling information out. Every single time you force your brain to remember a fact or a formula without looking at your notes, you're sending a powerful signal that says, hey, this is important. Keep this one for the long haul. Okay, so we get the science. Now let's build your actual practical toolkit. We're going to move from just passively highlighting a textbook until the page is glowing yellow to actively wrestling with the material for a deep, lasting understanding. Let's start with how you read. Instead of just letting your eyes glaze over the words, try using the SQ3R method. First, you survey the chapter. Just get the lay of the land. Then, you turn the headings into questions. This gives your reading a mission. You're not just reading, you're hunting for answers. But the most important steps, where the magic really happens, are recite and review. You have to stop and summarize what you just learned in your own words to truly make it stick. Now this one is my absolute favorite. The Feynman technique is the ultimate test of whether you actually get something. You pick a concept and you try to explain it in the simplest terms you can, like you're teaching it to a kid. You will immediately, and I mean immediately, discover where the holes in your knowledge are. That's your cue to go back to the book, fill in that gap, and then try explaining it again. It's about being brutally honest with yourself about what you really know. Okay, let's talk about your notes. It's time for an upgrade with the Cornell note-taking system. It looks simple, but it is an incredibly powerful way to set up your page during a lecture. You've got your main, big column for notes, a skinny column on the left for cues or questions, and a little summary section down at the bottom. And I'll show you exactly how to use this right now. See, this whole system turns into an active process with what's called the 5 R's. You record your notes during class, then pretty soon after, you reduce them. You pull out the main ideas into that left column. Then comes the active recall part. You recite. You cover up the main notes and try to explain everything using only your little cues. Then you reflect on how it all connects, and you do a quick weekly review. This turns your boring, static notes into a powerful, interactive study guide. Okay, so Cornell notes are amazing for organizing big ideas from lectures. But what about those classes that just need you to memorize a ton of stuff? You know, like anatomy or history dates or legal cases. For that, we're going to pull out a technique that's literally thousands of years old. It's time to build yourself a memory palace. The method of loci, or a memory palace, it sounds super complicated, I know, but it's actually beautifully simple. You just pick a place you know like the back of your hand. Your own house or apartment is perfect. Then you mentally place the things you need to remember at specific spots along a familiar path through that place. So to recall the info, you just take a nice, calm mental walk through your home. So why on earth is this so effective? Well, it works because you're linking abstract new information to a concrete, familiar place your brain already has mapped out. It makes the info tangible, it gives it an order, and honestly, it is so much less stressful than just trying to brute force memorize a list of facts. And it's way, way healthier for your brain than another all-night cram session. All right, we have the techniques. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, the game plan. Because it's not just about what you do, it's also about when and how you do it. This is all about mastering your time and your energy for peak performance. Just look at the difference between these two approaches. On one side, you've got the classic marathon cram session. We've all done it, we all hate it, it's super stressful, your concentration is shot after an hour, and you forget almost everything by the next morning. But on the other side, you have distributed practice. These short, focused sprints spread out over several days. The science on this is absolutely crystal clear. This way leads to deeper learning, way better long-term memory, and a whole lot less stress. So how do you actually do distributed practice? A fantastic tool is the Pomodoro technique. It is so simple. You just work in these intense, focused bursts, say 30 or 40 minutes, with zero distractions. Phone away, notifications off. Then, when the timer goes off, you take a short break. And those breaks are non-negotiable. They aren't wasted time. That's when your brain gets a chance to consolidate everything you just learned. Spacing out your work like this has so many benefits. It gives your brain the downtime it needs to really process stuff deeply. It also makes a huge, scary task feel way more manageable, which is the ultimate weapon against procrastination. And here's a great little brain hack for you. Our minds are weirdly good at remembering the beginning and the end of a study session. So by having lots of shorter sessions, you're creating more beginnings and more endings, which maximizes your memory. I want to leave you with this quote from Mortimer Adler because it just gets to the absolute heart of everything we've been talking about. True knowledge isn't just about recognizing an idea when you see it on a page. It's about being able to express it, to explain it, to use it. And that is the entire point of active learning. So there you have it. You've got the science, and you have a complete toolkit to totally change the way you study forever. The only question left is, which one of these powerful techniques are you going to try first? Don't try to do them all at once. Just pick one, start with it today, and I promise you, you will see an incredible difference come midterms.